Now I don't hardly know her, but I think I
Okay.
could love her.
Por favor. Okay. I need a favor. I'm working on a creative project. I'll just call it a creative project. Okay. Trying to create a scenario for something else. If it turns out to anything, then I'll do a video on it or something. But it's really not that big a deal. But I need help with something. Um, I think this is right. Most of you will have a grasp of this, but we've talked about EMPs and the grid going down and all that kind of stuff. I need this scenario that I'm dealing with. The grid goes down pretty much indefinitely, okay? And it goes down in such a way that there's really no help coming anytime soon. So if I'm here in Central California, there's no one coming from the East Coast to come bail these people out, okay? This is more of a hemisphere type. The whole hemisphere kind of goes out. So it's on a large scale. Turns us off, okay? But I'm looking for something, an event that would do that is preferably a natural event, not something man-made. It's not a nuclear attack. It's not an EMP thing from something we've done. It could be that's what is it when the sun comes off the sun, one of those things or whatever creates an EMP or something. But I'm looking for a natural event that shuts the whole North-South America down, at least us, maybe not Europe or something like that, but completely shuts us down as far as the grid, but doesn't necessarily make the environment uh, unlivable. Okay, like we're a nuclear attack, you have this, all the stuff left over afterwards and all that. This would be something where basically the grid is just shut down. Okay, on a large scale, the water hasn't been tainted. Not necessarily a lot of people have been killed right off or anything like that from the event itself. Things happen afterwards. And we're not under attack or anything like that. Okay, but it's the kind of event that basically turns us off. And I don't know, maybe a meteor or something like that. It could be something happened, like a meteor happened somewhere else or something, but the effect for us was shut the grid down. Okay, on a large scale. And I don't know if anything like that. I don't know if we can an event can meet that criteria. Okay, but for the scenario we're trying to put together, basically the grid is down from Mexico south all the way to Canada, and but it's not a like a post-nuclear war environment or something like that. We still have the sun coming up, the water's wherever the water is, but just we've lost power and communication, all this kind of stuff. So if you could help me figure out, think of it, whether it was the sun thing coming off the sun, or a meteor, or some far out deal, something like that. And maybe if you could think of something where I mean, if it was man-made, they would do it for a reason. Then there would be an attack or something. I really don't want to get into that for this particular scenario. Okay. So I don't know if you guys could think of something that would meet that criteria. The second thing, that events happen, the grid is down. It's the scary time that everyone's talked about, whatever the case is. And there are people that have taken the opportunity to create a drug. And it could be a hallucinogen, it could be whatever. It's a drug. Okay, get them high, whatever the case is. But they make it out of natural local resources. Now you might think, well, you can make booze, marijuana's grown. I'm in California, marijuana's grown everywhere. It's amazing. It's not a lawn item by now, but not those two. I'm looking for something where they could make, and it could be something very common I'm just not thinking of. Some will say, well, down in Amazon they got this tree that has leaves on it. Well, we're not in the Amazon, we're in California for this scenario. So it's got to be something here locally, a local resource that can be manipulated, okay, cooked, whatever they do, and whether it was smoked or drank or ingested or whatever the case is, gets people high, okay? Or it could be a natural resource, like, rosebuds, I don't know what the heck, and then they take a household item something out of under the kitchen sink, and they add that to it, and they do a thing, and it next thing you know, they got this drug, okay, and something like that. But preferably, I'm not trying not to use booze in the scenario or marijuana because it's almost too easy. And if this is no big deal with it, but if it turns into something, I'll explain a video on it later. But I'm looking for two things. Excuse me. An event shuts the grid down, and I mean shuts the grid down for could be a year or two, okay. And really no help coming because other people are messed up too, whatever the case is. And then some sort of trade item that happens to be a drug, a trade item, or it becomes a revenue source, or something that gives the people that have some power in this scenario. So we got the event and some sort of drug. If you guys could help me with that. I'm just stumped on this. I thought I could figure this out, but anyhow, love you. God bless. Thank you.
Crimson and clover.